shit, he did better than my entire high school class. Go figure. All right, how are we doing tonight? Good? Awesome. Yes, we finally have some estrogen on the stage. Believe it or not, this is not my first time doing stand-up. Last time I tried was about 4 years ago. Bombed horribly. Did not realize that in order to do effective stand-up, you have to become a shit show. So I've spent the past 4 years practicing. I'm really good at it now. So I've been in Atlanta about 6 years now. I came down here from Maine, which for those of you who are not aware, it's pretty much Alabama with snow. Yeah. Complete with rednecks. They just have a slightly different accent instead of, yeah. But yeah, no, coming down from the north was a shock for me. For starters, there are some phrases and terminology that I did not understand. I've been working in the restaurant industry for forever, kind of like Stockholm Syndrome. So when I first came to Atlanta, I was working at this one restaurant, and it was the middle of the summer, so Sweetwater Brewery was doing their Save the Hooch campaign. Now, where I come from, hooch does not refer to a river. Hooch is either whiskey or excessively loose women. So I'm sitting in this meeting, in this staff meeting, before we actually start working, and they're like, all right, guys, we're about to do the Save the Hooch campaign. Now, I need y'all to go sell a bunch of this wine and this beer because for all the profits we make tonight, we're donating it to the Save the Hooch. Excuse me? Yeah, no, we're gonna save the hooch. We're helping the Sweetwater Brewery save the hooch. We're focusing on the 420 beer. I'm gonna need some clarification. Took a minute for the manager to realize that I was a Yankee and I needed that explained to me in slow detail. So he's like, okay, well, you know what? Come back in a few hours. I'll see you in a minute. Do you want me back in a few hours or in a minute? What? Yeah. So confused the first, week or two. And then I started hanging out with restaurant people. Y'all are fun. I love me some service industry folks. Yes. Thank you, my people. So it turns out that the best way to become a shit show is to hang out with service industry people. You know it's true. A big part of hanging out here in Atlanta has been learning Atlanta sports, like cornholing. Again, where I come from, cornholing has a whole different meaning. Oh, yeah, no, when I found out that they were playing that on the patio? What? But I have started assimilating a little too much. I've been having a great time down here in the South. I have found myself acquiring the Southern drawl. I have found myself also acquiring other, much more odd terminology. I spent a Thanksgiving out in Conyers a couple years ago with an ex-boyfriend's family, and I heard his mother use the word ground squirrel. I'm gonna need you to run that by me one more time. Ground squirrel? Yeah, the little rodents that just kind of scurry around the ground. You mean a chipmunk? Got it. Okay, yes, I can do this. Well, I realized that I needed to leave the South when I was walking my dogs the other day, and they start leaping after various animals, and the only thing I could think was, if you don't quit fucking going after that ground squirrel, I'm gonna have to shoot you. So it's probably about time for me to leave. But yeah, no, service industry. So, like I said, Stockholm Syndrome, I've been in it forever. Service industry staff meetings are some of the most incredibly funny things I've ever sat through. There was one job that I knew I had to leave after the last meeting I actually sat through. And it wasn't because the restaurant itself was bad. It was one of my favorite bars to not only work at, but to also drink at. Well, when you walk into a meeting and you're greeted with such lovely things like, don't leer at your coworkers. Okay, slight red flag, sure, we'll go with that. My next favorite point, don't smoke pot with the regulars while you're on duty. Noted. My favorite, to this day, and I cannot make this up. If you are going to do drugs, please do them 2 hours before work so that you might be halfway functional to make it through your shift. I'm gonna need to leave. I got a regular I gotta go smoke pot with.